this we can't deny. He's a God of might and miracles. It's written in the sky. It took a
I don't see
miracle to hang the stars in space.
You don't see what?
Can I get a witness?
Facebook Live.
It took a
It's
miracle
it's on Facebook and
to hang the
Instagram.
moon in its
Yeah,
place.
it should be up there.
I see it.
But when it
Actually,
saved my soul, clear that he made me whole.
Amy Small said, "Good morning."
That was a
good
miracle.
morning.
All right, we got Pastor checking in.
Good morning.
Good
Good
morning.
morning.
Yes, sir. How you doing?
Oh man, I'm blessed. How about yourself?
Oh man, we trying to be blessed over here. We trying to figure out how to get blessed and stay blessed.
I know that's right. I know that's
Uh-huh. And man, good to have you this morning, man. Thank you for checking in with us, number one.
I thank you for having me.
Yeah, so I ain't know how to really start this with the pastor. I ain't know to start out with an offering or what. We, hey, so maybe you can tell me how it go, cause I get to preaching sometime.
Hey, look, I see the jit. I see the jit skit series going on. So you're trying to get to church. You know what I'm saying?
Right, I'm definitely trying to get to church. I'm trying to buy me a church, man. These
Yeah.
folks got me out here doing this wild stuff still.
Right. Right.
Yeah, man. So, but I'm I go by two cut shouty, big goo, magic, a bunch of things. Now, we adding on jit to it. Which that stand for Jesus in training.
Right.
Uh we got the Royal Queen, Shay, yeah, so I know you know Shay.
Right.
So
Right.
right. So how often have you prayed for Shay? That was let's start there. Like, do you be praying for her on a regular?
How often have I prayed for her?
Mm-hmm.
I, you know what? I need to add her to my prayer list. Then I pray for everybody now.
You need to add you need to add magic to your prayer list.
Yeah.
That was up, man. So what church you at? What church you pastor at? And how long have you been pastoring?
Well, I'm not the pastor. I'm one of the assistant pastors. It's Mount Sinai Baptist Church in Marietta. My pastor is Pastor Pierce Slade.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's good. So hey, so it must be an age limit. Like I see, 'cause how old you got to be an elder? I see you say elder. So how old you have to be an elder? Can you be one like at 21?
Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can. It's really not about age. It's just a position in the church. An elder is like you got ministers, evangelists, pastors. You got elders. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah.
So you don't got no prophets at the church?
Yeah, we got some prophets.
Is it I want to be one of them? Is it like a application thing you put in to be a prophet?
Nah, ain't no application. Definitely ain't no application. You know
Oh,
what I'm saying?
right.
Yeah.
You got to be called.
You got to definitely be called. You know what I'm saying? Shoot, hey, look, I wish I operated in the gift of prophecy every day. You know what I'm saying? That way I wouldn't make no mistakes, right?
Wow. You know what? So, speaking of mistakes, that's a good word. You know what I'm saying? So, mistakes they kind of mold who we are, more or less in my eyes, more or less than doing the right thing and not making mistakes. Where would we be if it wasn't for the mistakes? Now I know we look at the mistakes that hold us back, or we feel like has held us back all the time. We like, oh, if I wouldn't, but would you be the man you are today if it wasn't not for the mistakes?
That's a good one.
I think mistakes mold us.
Yeah, and we learn from them.
Now, I wouldn't be the man that I am today because, I mean, we learn from those mistakes. You know what I'm saying? We learn from those mistakes. Like I tell everybody that I needed to go to prison for a long time because otherwise I wasn't gonna change. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes, we need the mistakes in our lives to learn from them, but that's the point. We're supposed to learn from them and not repeat them.
Mm.
Right. It is only bad when you don't learn from them.
That's right.
Oh yeah.
Right. So you say you went to prison. My dad went to prison for a long time too.
Yeah.
I got a lot of partners that been on vacation. The door we like to call it. I got a few partners that's on vacation right now.
Yeah.
I've been fortunate enough not to have to take a vacation, and I'm not looking at taking none no time soon either. Or period. That's why I'm trying to get my butt and buy me a church. So how safe is the church? So for like real talk, like we run away from the church. People don't fool with the church. They don't fool with religious people. They don't. Cause I'm seeing you on the screen now. You seem like a guy just like me. Regardless of what your affiliation with the church, but you seem just like me. So I'm like, so what is the big fear that we got about churches? What is the big fear we got about this religion? Why we run away from it so much?
Man, you know, it's really just a different generation going on now. Like we were brought up in the church for the most part. People my age, your age, we was brought up in the church, man, and like that was something that our grandmama, our mama, granddaddy really made us do.
Mm.
And so, we kind of grew up and kind of started exploring the world. People started making money, and church itself kind of got put on the back burner. You know what I'm saying? But um, it's also another thing to it is that it's a lot of rules and regulations. You know what I'm saying? A lot of confusion, stuff like that people are not either not cool with or either just don't go along with. You know what I'm saying? That
Right.
Yeah, that comes with the church atmosphere and environment.
Mm. So do you feel like I'm going to say our generation? Do you feel like because we were made to go to church, like we had to go to church, like we didn't have a choice when we was younger.
Right.
So I grew up in Wright Street Baptist Church in Louisville. So I was on the usher board. I sung in the choir. We had to go to Vacation Bible School. We had to go to revival, and that was a Baptist church. And then my big mom went to Greater Community, so that was more of a Pentecostal church. So
Uh-huh.
I got to experience like both sides.
Uh,
But like I said, we were made to go, even when we didn't want to go. But I feel like that helps us in our life today. But I also feel like our generation, we did not push that on our kids like what we had with our grandparents. So I feel like that's the difference with this generation.
yeah, you're right. We didn't push it on the kids like it was pushed on to us. It's kind of a delicate balance. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? And what we finding today is it's kind of hard to meet that balance.
Mm,
Got more stuff going on in their life these days than they did 30 years ago. You know what I'm saying? Like nowadays, we're entrepreneurs. We got like careers, and we travel and do stuff that our parents might didn't have the opportunity to do.
Mm,
And like I mean, it's and then we're in the information age, so people got a lot of questions about the church that are not answered.
mm,
You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of stuff people reading on Google, the internet, and stuff like that. And some people just feel like they're not getting those answers in the church, and so they kind of just lose lose they kind of lose trust or lose patience. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying?
How important do you think it is for this new generation to be connected to God?
Oh, it's very important. It's extremely important. Um, it's always important to be connected to God,
Yeah.
and the young people want to be connected to God, but at the same time, they kind of like, um, in some ways, they kind of rebellious. Like some of us was rebellious, and they don't want to be made to do anything. Like if you look at the music today, right?
Hmm.
Like I talk to people about the music sometimes, and you don't see like a lot of rap music in church. You don't see a lot of rap music in church, right? But that's the music today of the young people.
Hmm.
They not
Mm-hmm.
singing Amazing Grace the way Grandmama did. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
If they sing Amazing Grace, they gonna rap to it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So churches, society, and the young people are evolving, but the church is not evolving in some areas to to meet them there. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Right.
So,
Right.
can you give us a little bit of your background? So we know that you grew up in the church. Can you give us a little bit of your background? What led you to going to prison?
Okay, well, I'm from Marietta, born and raised Marietta. Um,
I'm
when I
glad
was born,
Magic heard that. Where you from?
Marietta,
You heard that, Magic?
Marietta, Mayrettata, Marietta. Um, when I was born, we lived in Clay Homes. From Clay Homes, we moved to Babbage I was real young during those times. We lived pretty much all around Marietta, up and down Fort Street, Lawrence Street, Kennesaw Village, and I'm a product of Marietta City Schools. I went to Marietta Junior High, Marietta High, Park Street Elementary. Well, 15 years old, I started selling drugs. Even though I was, raised in the church and stuff like that, like we grew up in the crack era. Like
Right.
it was money to be made everywhere. You know what I'm saying? You can open your front door and make money. You know what I'm saying? So I started selling drugs at 15. By the time I was 17, I was just, I guess you can say just a lost cause, lost in the streets, um, being wild, going back and forth to jail. And so by the time I was 22, I was sent to state prison. Um, I received a 10-year sentence to serve three. I paroled out in 2 years. So that was from 95 to 97. I got out, um, didn't have no intention on changing, never tried to change at the time. You know what I'm saying? I was plotting my next big move, you know what I'm saying? Um, got out, made all the, did all the things I wanted to do in the streets again. Um, tried to do it, and I guess tried to do it smarter or better or whatever. Um, got a couple businesses and stuff like that around that time, and got married, had a son, and I was still in the streets. Well, a couple of weeks before I turned 31, um, I got picked up by the feds. Got picked up by the feds on um, a cocaine conspiracy, a firearm and counterfeit money. And I ended up serving 13 years. They picked me up in 2004. I served 13 years from 2004 to 2017. And
Wow.
during that period of time is where I started getting closer to God. That's when I, said to myself, like, I'm sitting here at the time, I'm facing what really could have been a life sentence.
Mm.
And I'm like, dang, man, you know what I'm saying? So I just started praying to God, like, Lord, just give me another chance. I know I can do better. I will do better. And I ain't looked back since.
Mm.
So I started
Amen.
studying. Yeah, I started studying the word, man, got in the word. Um, Eventually I started preaching in prison, and that carried on and over, throughout my release, and I'm still doing the same thing now.
Wow, man, that's powerful, man. But definitely want to get into the fact of, man, this crack era thing, because I think we all was a victim of this crack era thing, this hustle, man. Like in '86 when crack hit hard in the South, like in the southeastern region, like '86. For and and I tell the young people today, man, we started this disrespectful stuff, man. It wasn't no disrespect like this until we came along, because when
Yeah,
we started making that money, we were making, you know what I'm saying, we were making more money than the school teachers. We making more money than our mamas and daddies. And you know what I mean? So what was you gonna tell us? So this disrespectful thing, I think it started with us, and I think that's why we have a responsibility. It got to end with us too. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so I say you win every fight you're in with respect. If you get in a boxing ring, and if you can respect that person across from you, you got an opportunity to beat them. But you got to have respect. So, but we were just so disrespectful though, man. So I wanted to go back to that '86 era, that real crack era, like, you know what I mean, like before, cause I felt like for me, I always knew God existed, but I never had to really call on him. See, you got into a point where you got that you know what I'm saying, you got that long time where it made you call on him. It made you say, you know what, I ain't got nothing else. I got to call on him. Sometimes we out here in these streets, and we in these streets, like, I'm not behind bars. There's a lot of them, they not behind bars, man, but we in back in the corner. And we don't even know to call on, because, like Shay was saying earlier today, like the devil give us his own little thing too. He got his own little, you know what I'm saying, he got his own little blessings. And I was like, you know what I'm saying, like, and I used to feel like crack was a blessing for me, because it kept the lights on. It kept me fed. Now, I mean, I don't know if you felt like I felt, but to me, it was a blessing to be able to be independent, make your money. It was a blessing.
yeah,
And I felt like that. I'm from the bottom of my heart. Did you feel like that?
man, absolutely. At the time, you know what I'm saying? Like, just like you said, it's hard to tell somebody that got money anything. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
So when you a teenager and you got wads of money, you know what I'm saying? You go outside, you go to the trap or whatever, and you making a few $100s. You in high school? I was in high school selling drugs. You know what I'm saying?
right.
You know what I'm saying? And go over down Roosevelt, Turk, or Lemon Street, or wherever I was hustling at, and within a matter of a couple of hours, you know what I'm saying, you make $400-500 as a teenager. Then can't nobody tell you nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And then don't even get to having that kind of money. Can't nobody tell you nothing. Then, boy, these girls, these women, whoo, they gonna listen. The first time you said you make a couple $100, you make your $400-500. Then you got this little girl talking about you my man. You know what I'm saying? It changed you. Listen, I'm talking about we go immediately from preschool to college. Like, we just skipped everything else. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we just went from one extreme to the next. Like, and we took these women along the ride with us. This is part of the conversation. It's tough for men to have this conversation, because yes, we were making that money. Yes, we were doing what we doing. But hey, and then now we took these other children. I'm gonna say children. They women. They got kids now, but they were children at the time with us, and we took them along with us for the ride.
We
So
absolutely did. Yeah, yeah, we absolutely did. Man, I mean, a lot of women got got caught up in the crack era just because they were dating a dope boy. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of women that's doing time or did time because they was holding the pack. You know what I'm saying? I remember when I went to prison in 95, when I went to state prison, I used to get packages of marijuana mailed to me from from Arizona coming in the mail, right?
Right.
Get it for cheap on the West Coast. I get it over here and sell it for, triple or 4 or 5 times what I paid for it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So what I used to do was I used to have females that would get the packages for me or use their apartment or their house to get these packages. You know what I'm saying? And it could have very well ended up in with somebody going to jail. And I got busted at a female house, but um, I didn't let her go to jail. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of people would have let her go to jail. I explained to the people that she didn't have nothing to do with it. You understand what I'm saying?
Right, yeah. These people can't do their time no more, Jack. Like, hey, listen, boy, they get to talking 5, 10 years, boy, them people be falling, listen. They gonna tell on you. And that's the new thing now. They don't mind telling on you.
Yeah.
Like they gonna tell on you. Like, you know what I mean? Like you best believe they gonna tell on you. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, well, what's the rapper that then came out and got famous for telling on people? The Takashi.
Oh yeah, 6ix9ine.
Man,
Yeah, he got, they telling on you what's going on with the other trials and stuff, man. I don't even watch the Young Thug and all that stuff there for real. I'm not into it, but they are to telling. Now what I want to do for them, like, now I tell on them too, but I just tell Jesus on them now. I just tell Jesus, I say, big God, look what them boys over there doing. Big God, look what that girl over there doing. So, at what point, like, like you said, you're not a pastor, you're elder, you're an assistant pastor, you know what I mean? So at what point do you get to where you say, you know what, I'm done with all this earthly stuff. I'm not gonna, you know what I mean? I'm not doing anything that's outside the Bible. You know what I mean? Now, I have a hard time doing that myself. Like, I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, I hadn't got there yet. Like, I couldn't even consider myself to be an elder or nothing. I might can be friends to a deacon, but like they need to have that in the church, like friends of the deacons. Like that'll be my position. but but I'm not to that point yet. You know what I mean? Like, so and when you get to how you like, how much discipline does it take to be a pastor, or elder, or hold a high position in a church? Because you're gonna get held accountable for all your actions in front of man.
man, I'm gonna tell you, just being honest with you, everybody mess up. Pastors, preachers, the people singing in the choir. Ain't nobody perfect. You know what I'm saying? So we all mess up, right? And we still mess up. Um, Now, as far as qualifications, I mean, it's really just like it's about the heart and then having self control. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of stuff that I don't do no more. It just exercising self control. But I don't keep myself in a box neither though. You know what I'm saying? Like I like to have fun. I like to, you know what I'm saying? I don't go out to like clubs and stuff like that. But like when I get with my young people, I mentor my young people and stuff like that. I don't try to change them and change like they lingo and stuff. I just try to teach them to be respectful and try to teach them to have goals and aim in life. But I don't try to change like they lingo. They got their own little slang. Some of them, for instance, it's a big thing about a lot of older people feel bad about the sag in the pants and stuff like that. A lot of them gonna sag their pants like it is a style. It's something they do. I'd rather for them to sag their pants, you know what I'm saying, until they learn better or do better or whatever. I'd rather for them to do that than to go out here and be, robbing and stealing in the streets. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah,
Because
here's
a
what
lot
I
of
don't like.
times, I feel like a lot of times, our generation and older forget we did stupid stuff.
Sure did.
You know, they be so judgmental when it comes to this new generation, but they forget you wasn't perfect. You
Man,
did stupid stuff. You didn't always make the best decisions in life.
true.
And
You
still
know, we
not making
all
the
been
best
young
decision.
before.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Because like connecting with the young people, right? The worst thing we can do is run them off. You
Mm.
know what I'm saying? That's the worst thing we can do is run them off. Like for instance, I got one little dude I mentor where he rap. You know what I'm saying? So the first couple times, me speaking with him, and he telling me about his rapping. So I said, man, let me hear what you got. So of course all his stuff is, you know what I'm saying, kill this person and do this and do that and the other, you know what I'm saying? So I said, okay. I said, man, you got skills. So then I challenged him, you know what I'm saying? I said, okay, well mix it up a little bit. Um, Give me something inspirational and do a little bit of what you do. And then let me see how that sounds. You know what I'm saying? And so it's just helping to introduce him to something different. You know what I mean? But he's still doing what he loves to do without me trying to dictate what he do.
Right. So look, you talking about sagging them pants. I don't have a problem with young guys sagging their pants because they be trying to say, oh, what that mean in prison and whatnot. Nah, well, that's what it mean in prison. And I know people been in prison. I don't know, but I don't agree with that. So I don't have a problem with them sagging their pants. What I do have a problem with is the double standard of it. So I can have a young man sagging his pants because I worked with the youth for like 10 years. That was one of my stints. So but then I have a young man that may be living an alternative lifestyle, and he come in with his pants pulled so far up, and just got, what I'm saying, and what I'm saying, just all his genitals is just, no, I mean, it's like I rather do this. So I don't know. I just rather deal with the young man sagging than this man sitting down. You know what I'm saying? It's showing me all his genitals. You know what I mean? But you can't say nothing to him because he decided to live an alternative lifestyle. So it's cool. They get to break all the rules. You know what I'm saying? If you say anything to this side over here, you are wrong. You are bashing them. You hating on them. But my young man that's trying to get his life together, just sagging his pants, ain't hurt nobody, did nothing. I'm talking about the most negative stuff in the world comes out about them, and I have an issue with that.
Yeah.
So in the church, you're supposed to be able to go to the church in any way you come. It say come as you are. I heard that before. I don't know is that necessarily true or not. Can you really come as you are at the church? That's a real question. Can you really come as you are? You're supposed to, but can you?
Absolutely. And see, here's the thing. You supposed to be able to come as you are. You should. You know what I'm saying? Um, to be honest with you, if you look at how God told the the people in the Bible to dress like the priests and stuff like that, even the suits that we wear to church these days would not qualify for what God said to do. You know what I'm saying? So we made our own standard. It ain't even the standard. If a person come in t-shirt and shorts, then oh well, they came. You know what I'm saying? I just preached a sermon. Well, no, I ain't just preaching, but probably, I don't know, maybe a year ago about, and that's one of the illustrations I used about, because a lot of times women get judged for wearing like tight stuff and skirt too short, but you just don't know that might have been all that she had to wear. You know what I'm saying? So instead of scrutinizing the person or making the person feel unwelcome, then what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to love on the person. And then when they get to where they, get to a different place to where they might think that it's inappropriate, let them make that decision. You know what I'm saying? But man, we can't change everybody's mind on everything that we think is wrong.
Oh no, you definitely can't do that. One thing, like the women come to church and they be dressed a certain way and they wear something tight or wear something sexy or wear something form fitting. They might just be fitting like that. They might just have it like that. But then you as a deacon or elder or pastor of the church, and you're trying to show them love. You can't hug them. You can't show them the type of love that you really want to show them because you got to understand what come with that. You might got a wife looking at you. You got other women in the church looking at you. Why are you hugging on her? And she dressed like this. Why are you showing her love and she dressed like this?
That's true. Hey, look, that's why. Hey, that's why in church, man, you just gotta give everybody a church hug. You know what I'm saying? You give them a little one hand, and you keep that much space between your body. You know what I'm saying? You gotta give everybody a little church hug and keep it moving.
Yeah, man. So have you been in that box before where somebody told you that you ain't shouldn't have been hugging this woman or been around this woman? Have, that
Oh
ain't never
no.
happened to you?
Oh yeah, my wife look at everything. You know what I'm saying? My wife look at everything, so she be looking, and most of the time she wrong, but sometimes she might be right. It might be somebody looking at me like that, and I might don't see it. You know what I'm saying? But so I try to make sure that I'm extra respectful.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. You know, man, I might have to get one of them, what you call them little blankets or what you lay on the women laps or whatnot. What you call them things?
It'll
Uh,
cover.
yeah, the
Yeah.
cover. You know, man, but it's just hard being in leadership anyway. You know what I'm saying? And especially as, a man, a black man being in a leadership position in a vulnerable situation like the church. That's vulnerable. This is when you come when you're vulnerable. So why would a man, like men, men are men. See, men, we get fault for we get faulted for being men. We get
Yeah.
faulted, So I was explaining to another young lady before, and I was helping her about telling her about her son.
Hmm.
And she was like, "Well, why does he do this and why does he do that?" I said, "Well, he's a young man,
Right.
and he's gonna roar. Every lion is gonna roar. You know what I'm
True.
saying? But anytime that lion get to roaring, especially when he in your house, you saying, 'This is my house.' And instead of saying, 'This is my house,' you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So get what he decided to do. He gonna leave that house because he got to go and roar. And if you a woman and you have a husband or a boyfriend, whatever you got, he's gonna roar because he's gonna make sure that you know what I'm saying. The lion just roar for no reasons sometimes, but women so emotional they getting they feeling like, oh, why you doing this and why you saying it like that? You just roaring. You know what I mean? But
Right.
when your pastor a man, he roars. When your deacon a man and he roars. When your elder a man and he roars. See, we get hit hard for that. How you navigate that, man?
Man, everybody deal with it. Everybody deal with it, right? I'm gonna give you a little teaching moment too, right? So we always say that we always say that the wife is supposed to submit to the husband, right?
Right?
So we always hear that right there, right? But I'm gonna give you a little teaching moment real quick, right? In that same passage of scripture, right before that, it say submit one to another. You know what I'm saying? But that don't mean for the husband not to be the leader. Sometimes that wife gonna be right. Sometimes my wife is right about some of the stuff that she bring to me or some of the stuff that she correct me on. Sometimes she right. But you still the head, you still called to be that leader, right? But that's just a woman, man. A woman always gonna pinpoint stuff. She always gonna point stuff out, and it's just a matter of having that temperament to be able to deal with it. Sometimes I just have to tell my wife, look, now I done already said what I said. This is what it's gonna be, and we're gonna ride with it. Now she might be mad at me for a day or whatever, but we all right and we move on through it. But then it's sometimes when she brings something to me, and I think about it, and I be like, dang, you know what? Why she right? And I go back to her, you know what I'm saying? I say, you know what, baby, you right. Let's do it your way. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
Right, you got to be man enough to submit to God anyway. Like it take a real man to be able to do that. So let's just stop right there. So let's just start right there, and then being a leader. I'm gonna do a teaching moment too. You know what I mean? I might need to come to the church and be an elder. Cause I'm finna do a little teaching moment too. Um,
sure.
Like you can't be a leader every moment. Like so when people say, "Man, I'm a leader and not a follower," I think that's the craziest thing that you can say. How can you not? You've been following all your life. That's why you speak the language that you speak. That's why you speak. You know what I'm saying? That's why you go to the church that you go. You follow somebody there. You a follower most of your life. 80%, 85% of your life you're following. It's only going to be certain moments that you get to lead in, and if you follow the right people, when your moment comes, you can lead the right way, and then people may consider you to be a leader because you led right in your moment. You weren't leading the whole time you've been walking, the whole time you've been alive. That ain't, you know what I'm saying? That's an oxymoronic for you to think that you just this constant lead. No, you lead in moments. So now it's easy to submit when you understand this, because now you understand. Because I tell any woman, don't trust me, trust God. Because I don't trust you, I trust God. And what we can do, we can trust God together. You know what I'm saying? We can move forward in that way. Now, understanding what God gave man one man. So now man got a vision, right? But with a woman, that gives man sight beyond sight. So yes, your wife gonna be right about a lot, not just some things, because with you, you know what I'm saying, your vision, she gonna give you sight beyond sight. So you know what I'm saying, you just got vision by yourself. But with the right woman, God put in your life, she gonna give you sight beyond sight, because now you get to use all her skills, all her intuition, everything God put in her is for you. So I don't understand why men be so insecure about their woman, thinking they woman telling them something. No, God put that in that woman for you. So why wouldn't you listen to her? That's the craziest thing to me. We gotta help our men get more comfortable in their own skin. Everything God gave one man is for man. So if you're not taking advantage of what God blessed you with, that's on you, homie.
Absolutely. 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 You don't want to be in a situation, man, um, where your woman do not have a voice. You know what I mean? You don't want to take your woman's voice. You don't want to take nobody's voice. You know what I'm saying? It's like I wouldn't want to be at a church where I can't go to my pastor and correct him or her. You know what I'm saying? Um, everybody at some time may need some correction along the way.
Right. We all need some correction, man. Like I be needing it daily.
Yeah.
I need it daily. You know what I'm saying? I just don't want to have to go to court to get my correction on. Like
Man, say
that's
it again, man. Say it again. Please
I
don't.
just I just don't want to go to court to get no correction. I'd rather take it to the altar. You know what I'm saying? Like I'd rather take it before God. Like, and sometimes, you know, um, like Shay was saying, man, the devil blessed so many people. Like I done seen people, man, that they seem like they got everything. They doing all the wrong things, and life just seems so great for them. The devil blessed, man. The devil blessings. You got the devil will bless you.
Well, he showed, hey, well, you saw what he offered Jesus. He said, just fall down and worship me. He said, man, I give you everything. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah, you're right.
The devil will bless you, man. The devil will bless you, man. I appreciate everybody checking in. I see you, Corey, Collins, Jillian. Um, people. I see everybody checking in, man. I appreciate y'all checking in. Oh man, so I'm on here. I mean, I feel like I got a new buddy here, man. I had to LC. I thought, see, I ain't. Man, look, I might need to fill out an application, man. What you think, man? Can I come to?
Hey, man, fill out that application, man. You know what I'm saying? Hey, don't fill that application out, man.
I might need to be on the deacon board or something. I might need to be on the deacon board, man. But listen, so how real is lust in the church? Like, how real is it? Like, have you ever been looking across, sitting up there next to the pastor and looking out there and just seeing people lusting for each other?
Man, that's probably the biggest sin in the church. You know what
That's
I'm saying?
that's the biggest sin in the church, huh?
That's my guess now. You know what I'm saying? Somebody else might say something else, but that's probably the biggest sin in the church, man. Is lust. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So if people at Mount Sinai you watching, lusting for each other in the church?
I ain't gonna necessarily say there. You know what I'm saying? Because I ain't not. I'm not gonna say there because like different churches, you got kind of a different atmosphere. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
I can say this about my church, man. Is it's not because even in church you got gossip and stuff that go on, but we don't have that. You know what I'm saying? We small and we don't have like some of the little schisms and stuff. You know what I'm saying that go on. I've been to. I can say that I have been to churches where some of that stuff. You know what I'm saying is prevalent though. You feel me?
right.
Yeah.
Like back in my day, I'm not gonna hold you. Back in my day, that's not a uh that definitely not a church I done been to or visited that. Hey, boy, look, I want to see what look. That's what get most men to start going to church is they lust. They want to go and see what women. They know women going to church. Then and it be some good looking women in church. It be some good smelling women in church. But what throw me off when I get to the one they wear that white diamond like that. That what throw me. That's the part that throw me off. Like that's when I'm like, oh Lord. That's when I start praying. But
Not the
Yeah.
white diamond.
yeah, that white diamond throw me off. So,
Yeah.
but I'm guilty going to church just to look at women, just to look at women, to pick up women. I'm guilty of that. I done did that before. You know what I'm saying? So I wonder how many women would admit that they've been to church just to pick up men.
Oh, shoot, they probably did it too. They probably did it too. I mean, you know, everybody probably have saw somebody in church. Probably didn't go for that reason or for that purpose, but probably saw somebody in church that probably sparked their interest or whatever.
Right, right. So, and people say you go to church to find a good woman. I don't believe that.
You can
I
find a
don't
good.
believe that, cause you know what I'm saying. Now you might go to church to find a woman trying to get it together. You know what I'm saying? But like if you going to church, you're going for a reason. To me, like that never made sense to me. Like I don't think it just the church just feel a good women. I
I
think the
feel
church.
like I feel like it's a lot of good women that go to church. I'm not gonna say all the women in the church are good women, but I feel like there are a lot of good women that go to church.
It
And I
is.
think some men do go to church to find, a good woman or a good wife, and vice versa.
Man, they saying that white diamond is still the number one selling perfume ever. Man, who is wearing this white diamond? Like, have you ever bought that to give? Like, I don't even know where you get it from. Where you get it from? Macy's,
I don't think none of the young people wearing it.
They don't even know what that is. I don't think.
right? But
I don't think they know what white diamond is. So Elder, can you tell the younger generation what it means to be saved, how they can get saved?
What it means to be saved, man, is really just to place your life in God's hands. And what I believe and what we believe in the Christian church is that to be saved through Jesus Christ. Now here go another thing, right? And what some pastors won't teach, I do talk about it, and it's becoming more and more and more like you're hearing it more and more.
Hmm.
Um, but to be saved in the name of Jesus Christ, right? And then some people say, well, that wasn't even his name. His name was Yahshua. You know what I'm saying? That wasn't. Yeah, that's true. You know what I'm saying? And so I think the church should teach those things as well. So you will know what they called Jesus way back in the day when he walked the earth. They didn't never call him Jesus. They called him Yahshua. And this. So to be saved in the name of Jesus, Yahshua, however you want to say it, but to be saved in his name.
right. So so I got lost. You said to be saved is what? Cause you said you start talking about Yahshua. I ain't know.
Okay. To be saved is when you receive Jesus in your heart as your personal savior. Believing that he believing that he came, he was born, and that he died and resurrected the third day as payment for all of our sins, right? And so
Right.
then I just threw the other little part in there because you got people nowadays saying, how can you be saved in Jesus' name? They didn't never call him Jesus. His name was Yahshua. So I just kind of just threw that.
Okay, so I got something for both of y'all. Number one, I want to start out because I'm still on this white diamond. But like certain women, when you get to a certain age, they put when they start playing when they start spraying on that white diamond, they feel like they saved. Like, and when I smell it, I be like, when I smell it, I be like, she saved. You know, like, and I mean, and I know I'm not the only person that smelt this white diamond and said that they are saved. So you know, so that is the saved fragrance right there. So I think that's the saved fragrance. Number one. Number two, hey man, y'all made me forget what I was talking about. Uh,
Right
number two, being saved and having Jesus in your heart. I think you know, like that's the main, you know, that's the main thing. So what I have for both of you guys today is, you know, like people say they faith, like they believe, right? They say they real believers, right? They say they real believers. You know what I mean? Like that's a requirement to be in this Christian thing. Like you got to be a real believer. Made the church say, "Amen." You got to be a believer, right? So now they say they believe in everything. They believe in all the miracles of Christ. They believe, you know, they believe a man walked on water. Jesus talked to a burning bush. You know, took 5 fish to 2 loaves of bread, fed all these people, turned water into wine. But they don't believe in Santa Claus. Now, hold on. I know you think I'm going somewhere, and I am. But how can you now? How can you not believe in Santa Claus? You believe in all the miracles, but you want me to believe my God can do everything but make a Santa Claus. Like that's where you draw the line. So and I'm like, so you cannot be a real believer to me if you don't believe in Santa Claus. I believe in Santa Claus. Now I'm saying now I tell you that he roofed the roof every night, not just on that one night, but he roofed the roof every night. But to not believe in Santa Claus, to tell me my God got all power raised up on the third day, that's why we celebrate Easter. You tell me he can do everything but make a Santa Claus. You are not a believer to me. Am I wrong?
uh, can he
He
make a Santa
limited.
Claus?
You gonna limit my God. My God can do everything else but make a Santa. He can hang the stars, the moon, the sun. He can do everything but make a Santa Claus.
Well, he probably can make a Santa Claus. You know what I'm saying?
Now
But
you talking about probably. Come on, Elder. You
no,
talking about probably.
He making
hey,
the Santa Claus through us. We buying the gifts.
yeah, exactly. We is the Santa Claus.
Right. But you don't believe in Santa Claus though. Come on, Elder. You do not believe in Santa Claus, Elder.
You don't believe in Santa Claus either.
I believe in Santa Claus because I believe in my Lord. Say, listen, you can't limit my God. You can't see. That's what I'm saying. You can't come and tell me what my God can't do. You can't limit him. No, I'm not limiting God.
Well,
Elder.
we believe God can make a Santa Claus,
Yeah,
and we did believe in Santa Claus when we was little.
But you
yeah.
don't believe in him when you're big. Oh my Lord. I got work to do, Lord. I'm down here with the children, Lord. I'm down here with the children, Lord. I got them on live today.
Hey,
I'm
look, when
down.
you find him, when you find him, then let me know.
Oh yeah.
Okay, Jillian said she got a question for you, Elder. She say, how is the church addressing the issue of smoking marijuana legally?
Man, that's a good question right there, right? Good question, good question. First of all, marijuana is medicinal. Marijuana, God said in the Bible, He said, I give you all the herbs. He said, I give you all the herbs, right? For
Right.
healing, for healing. So we know that it is medicine. We know it's medicine. Now, at the same time, we can abuse anything. You know what I'm saying? I don't necessarily think a person need a prescription to know that, like some people smoke marijuana for their anxiety, or for stuff that they dealing with, depression and stuff like that, and they learn by themselves that, dang, okay, this kind of calms my mind. They may not necessarily need a prescription, but by law they need a prescription. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
So I don't condone or believe in just people just smoking all day every day just recreational because that's just what they like to do. Because you can abuse anything. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Miss Ellis said it's for healing, not getting high, but how you not get high and get healed? Like I don't understand. It go together.
Right. I mean, that's just one of the I guess you can say, I don't know if side effects the right term, right? But
Yeah.
that's one of the side effects of using it. It's like if you take a what's something real strong medicine like a Percocet or something like that, then it's gonna give you a certain kind of feeling too. But you can go to the hospital and they give you that. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah, they gonna give you that. They gonna put that drip on you too. What that you go to the hospital for? You have surgery. They put that drip on you. What's in that drip? That
Give you morphine and all kind of stuff.
yeah, they put that drip,
That
but
stuff
that
gonna
drip
give you a high.
it had you high. It be a good high, but it don't just be a high. It be a good high.
Yeah, true.
It do like yeah. So but it's funny you say that the Bible say it's gonna give you all these herbs, right? And it's medicinal. So uh so Kadi young people, I guess, with Jill and Kadi young people, they so live with it. They come to church smelling just like a pounder. Like they sit in the car and hot box, and they come in and sit next to sister whoever right there and sit right next to her. They don't care to have the whole church smelling like weed.
But they don't care either. I mean, it's some who don't care. You know what I'm saying? And that's what they do, and they do it so open. Like, I mean, 30 years ago, smoking marijuana, you tried to hide it a little bit more. Now,
Mhm.
now people got in their mind. People almost think it's just legal. It ain't legal everywhere, first of all. But people kind of think like, well, shoot, it's legal in California, it's legal in this state and that state, but it ain't legal everywhere. That's the first thing. And the second thing is, now you shouldn't go everywhere. Like, you got to learn etiquette. Even if you is doing it, you still got to learn etiquette, right? Like, I told I told somebody probably, I don't know, maybe 2 3 years ago. I said, look, I said, you smoke weed, you smoke marijuana, right? I said, okay, that's your thing. I ain't telling you what to do, what not to do. But don't let everybody know you do it. Don't go places smelling like marijuana. You know what I'm saying? It don't make no sense. You're gonna
Right.
drop heat to yourself. You know what I mean?
Nah, you don't want to go smelling like marijuana. And so and with marijuana, I know I want to see if you can make the comparison with me, but with marijuana come cussing. So people who smoke feel like they feel like when it's legal to smoke, they feel like it's legal to say bad words everywhere. Now I used to have a philosophy. What up, Dennis? I used to have a philosophy. Uh, I didn't believe in cuss words for real. Like I don't believe in you can say whatever. I just believe cursing was when you wish hate on somebody or you wish bad to somebody. I felt like that's what cursing was. But just I felt like words were just words. As I done got older and understanding, the ideology behind words. Like, yeah, these are cuss words to me now, and it make me cringe to see a person go to church, say they religious or holy or whatever, and especially with women. I hold women to a higher standard, and I could be wrong. I know they're gonna say, "Oh, yeah," but I'm just that guy. But I hold women to a higher standard. Um, to use foul language. How absurd is this in the church? Like from our perspective, you too, Shay. How absurd is this? Like, 'cause like I'm definitely trying to get away from using foul language myself. That's one of the things that I'm working on myself right now in this moment daily. Not using foul language, not just in the church, but just I don't really like to cuss in front of women. because I have respect for my mom, my auntie, you know, uh, my better half, like, so I just don't really like to cuss in front of women. So then I'm getting to the point where I don't like to even hear it either.
Yeah. I feel like, I mean, back when we was coming up in church, you wouldn't hear the pastor cuss. You know, he may say hell, but not like a cuss word, you know. I don't know if some of the pastors feel like that's their way of communicating, with maybe with the younger generation or something like that. But for me, and I know nobody's perfect, but I hold a pastor, to a higher standard because this congregation is following you, you know. But I mean,
Yep.
Yeah,
you look on IG, it's different. You got the cussing pastor, you got the cussing deacon now. I mean, like, and like I said, nobody's perfect, but um, back when I was growing up and I was in church, you just didn't hear the pastor cussing in church. And
right.
like Elder said, we just held ourselves at a higher level. We had that respect. We're not gonna come to church smelling like weed. Then when we get out of church, we may go smoke some weed, but we're not gonna come into church smelling like weed.
Yep.
Man.
That was just disrespectful.
Yeah, it's always disrespect. Hey, everything had changed. They not lying on here. But I'm just talking about I'm not talking about the pastors or the higher ups in the church. I'm talking about the congregation. They be in church cussing. Like they be in church cussing like for real. Like like it goes down in them seats.
You
You know
mean
what I'm
like
saying? Don't
you
let
mean
the
like
pastor say
during
something.
service?
Yeah, doing service. I done been sitting next to some people in church and the pastor say something. Uh, and I had man, they demanded, hey, man, like I couldn't believe, I couldn't believe it one day. And like I said, I don't like to really curse like that no more myself, even though I love to hear the right people. Like I'm gonna tell you that I love to hear the right people cuss, and some people just can do it. They just magical with it, like Bernie Mac and stuff. Like some people, you just love to hear them cuss, and some people really have that gift. But I heard a lady in church, and the preacher said something, and that lady said, "I know he'll MF and lie." I'm talking about right there in the church. You know what I'm
It's just
saying?
at a
So,
different level, just being on church ground. I remember being younger, we may say something crazy and be like, "You on church ground?" You know. We just had that level of respect when we was coming up, and I just think that's crazy for somebody, in the congregation to be saying something like that towards the pastor.
yeah, you being now, you know what I mean? Like, man, hey, Charlie thick as F, you know what I mean? Like, like it. Like people did, we just so casual with our language. Is it because of the music? Is it because of the influence now? Is it what is it? Why? Cause we just like we don't like Shay was saying. We used to step on church ground and knew we was on church ground. Now you pull up to the church, listening to, you know what I'm saying? You listen to trap music, pulling up to the church. I'm talking about you used to get in your car, you would put on some church music driving to church. Now you pull up to the church listening to Lil Baby. Like what is going on?
I I think a lot of it got to do with the message overall. Overall, I don't mean every church or every pastor, but overall, most of what's being preached is not holiness. Most of what's being preached is what God about to give you, your next season, the next big thing, your next big promotion. You know what I'm saying? That's most of what's being preached, and not holiness. You know what I'm saying? Now if you look back in time, then 30, 40 years ago, then it was a lot of holiness.
It's getting good.
Yeah, he had we had lost his audio.
I almost lost y'all. So did y'all catch what I said?
Yeah, we didn't catch the ending part, but we caught the majority of what you said.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, but Dennis say that he let himself go sometime, whatnot. But but he definitely don't like to do it at church. But he said, but then again, he smoked a blunt before he went into his brother's funeral. Now, I don't think he was being disrespectful. I just think he was coping with a situation then.
True.
Like he was coping with a situation then. That's a tough. He smoked the blunt before he went to his brother's funeral. Um, yeah.
So
So,
I wanted to ask you a question, Elder.
Okay.
Um, the first time you experienced the Holy Spirit, and the reason why I want to ask you that is because when I lived in Cartersville, I used to go to Pastor Jules' church in Rome, Georgia, right? And I wanted to go up there and get prayed over one Sunday, but I was kind of scared to go up there and get prayed over because everybody that would go up there, they would fall out. And I was like, well, what if I go up there and I don't fall out? I don't want to be looking crazy in front of everybody. So, when was the first time you experienced the Holy Spirit, and how do you know if you're experiencing the Holy Spirit?
ooh, that's a good one.
The first time I experienced the Holy Spirit, I'll say on I'll say on like another level. I forget the year, right? But I was in prison. I forget the year. It was probably around about 2000 and maybe 14, 15,
Hmm.
and I was walking around the track with a group of guys, right? It was probably about 4 or 5 of us. Like sometimes we'd walk around the track and just be talking about different stuff. With this particular day, we was talking about something pertaining to the Bible. I don't even really remember exactly what. And and we were just like praising God for different things walking around the track, right? And next thing I know, you know, exhorting God. Next thing I know, I was speaking in tongues. That's the first time I had ever spoken in tongues. So I wasn't even at church. You know what I'm saying? I was walking around the track in prison and just thanking God about different things for different things. And the next thing I know, I was speaking in tongues. You know what I'm saying? So that was probably 2014 or 15.
And that then, and you weren't afraid when that happened. You weren't scared. Like, what am I doing?
Nah, I wasn't afraid. It was just like and it wasn't like something that just went on for like 2 or 3 minutes. It was just a few seconds, and it was like it was kind of like a wow moment. Like wow, you know what I'm saying? Like okay, I I understand now. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just something that just hit me and it just happened.
It was a spiritual awakening.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow. I mean, like, did your body heat up or like what? Like, cause I see, cause I'm gonna tell you, man, I'm gonna be totally honest, man. We be thinking like, ain't gonna say we. I used to be thinking people be faking when they be in church and they get strong all of a sudden, and and I be like, man, these folks just showing out.
Some of them probably do. Cause I used to feel the same way. I used to feel the same way. You know what I'm saying? And for me, nah, it wasn't like no like a different kind of. I can say for probably a few seconds, I felt like I was walking out on the track by myself. You know what I'm saying? It was like I knew these other people right there with me and stuff like that, but for like a few seconds, I couldn't hear nobody but me. I couldn't hear them or the other people out there running around because it was a lot of other activities going on, like people playing basketball over here on this side, people playing softball on this side. So it's voices everywhere. But for a few seconds, I didn't hear nobody, nothing but me. You know what I'm saying?
Wow, wow. So, we getting some. James Taylor wanted to know when you had that spiritual awakening, did you receive God then?
I won't say
Eh,
that I received God. Then I was already preaching everything else. You know what I'm saying? I just think it was just God showing Himself to me in a different way.
wow. Okay. Now, I'm gonna go back in our conversation a little bit, cause when you took us down your journey, when Shay asked you to give us some of your background, and and what got you in a situation where you had to go on vacation for it a little while. You said you went in one time for a couple years, then you came out, got yourself together a little bit, started hustling, got you some business, got married,
Right.
had a child. At this point of marriage, you was not the man you are today, not obviously, but you wasn't as close to God then when you did, like the day you got married, how close were you to God?
Oh man, the day I got married, huh? One second, I'm typing you a message. Okay, okay. Nah, when I got married, I definitely wasn't saved. Man, when I got married, I definitely was not saved. I was still hustling. I was in the streets, man. Um, and 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 I wasn't just hustling, selling drugs. I was robbing Mexicans. You know what I'm saying? So, um, in different situations and shootouts, and everything to go with the streets, right? Um, so I was a long way from being saved, man. Um, I had a good wife, though. You know what I mean? I had a good wife. She was a good wife, a good mother. Um, child with kids, man. But I definitely was not saved when I got married.
Right. So she had to come along with the process. See the point I'm making to young men now. Just like we take them along the journey when we out there in them streets. See, when we start to get ourselves together, see, we still take them along the same. See, you know what I'm saying? So we take them along the journey too. So you going along this journey and getting yourself to where you were today. See, you had to bring her with you too. You couldn't leave her behind. You had to bring her with you too, right?
Yeah. Now, see, our journey kind of went like this. So let me go back a little bit. So we got married. We got married in 2001, right? So I went to federal prison in 2004. Well, in 2008, we divorced. We divorced in 2008, and we stayed divorced, through the rest of my prison bid. And sometime after I got out, we rekindled things. In 2018, we remarried. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So then, with us coming back together, now I was a whole different person than what I was, the first time when we was married. So now she not dealing with a dude that's in the streets, a knucklehead. Now she dealing with somebody that's, in the word and ministering the word and stuff like that. So now, um, she's still like way ahead of me with certain things as far as like her patience and stuff like that. Like I'm still impatient, but when it comes to like the word and stuff like that, now I gotta be patient with her because she's not I'll say a student of the word, like I am, but she's very dedicated, to God and all the things of God.
Right. So it was a lot of forgiveness had to go on.
Man, a whole lot.
A lot of forgiveness, man. You know, Betty Wright. I always go back to Betty Wright. I know she's not a pastor or preacher or anything, but in her song she used to say, if you learn the secret how to forgive, a longer and a better life you will live.
Mm.
And and I was examining the words to that, like, and I would say, why would she say if you learn this secret, like, why would she reference forgiveness as a secret? If you learn this secret, how to forgive, it was so powerful to me because I was like, wow, like here it is in front of your face. Man, like with love, then you hear Martin Luther King say, uh, only light can drive out darkness. Only light can do that. So when I get to comparing the two, things I say, well, light must be forgiveness. Light gotta be forgiveness. So, and you gotta have God in your spirit. First of all, you know what I'm saying? You have to be able to submit to God to walk and have the spirit of forgiveness in you. I like to think that I'm a forgiving person because I like to think that I got God in me.
Right, right.
So this forgiveness that it takes, see, that's a tough struggle that you say, okay, you got divorced in 2008 and stayed divorced until you got out. Then rekindled things. Oh man, you could have been a bitter man. Oh, you didn't want to hold me down while I was locked up. You know what I'm saying? You could have been a bitter man. And maybe you were a bitter man at some point in time. I don't know, but you had to have God and you had to have forgiveness in you. So let's talk about what the power of forgiveness is. Like how you're a living example of it.
Man, forgiveness is needed, man. Especially like you gotta forgive in a relationship, man, and in a marriage. You gotta learn how to forgive often. You gotta learn how to forgive almost on a daily basis. You know what I'm saying? Even for the little things. But going back to my situation, then when I got all my time, I was sentenced to 15 years and 8 months. That was my sentence. I told my wife, you know, to go on with her life. Go on, live your life. I'm about to have to do this time. You young. You know what I'm saying. You beautiful. You got your life ahead, and you don't have to wait on me. You know what I'm saying. Um, and in my heart, I really, really meant that. Did I really, really want her to leave? No. But I also didn't want to be selfish. So
Man, that's deep right there, and I respect that. That's deep there.
yeah, and so she did try to hold on, and like it was hard. You know what I'm saying? Like it was hard for her, man. And trying to trying to be in prison. I mean, hold somebody down in prison, and and I still got more than a decade to go. You know what I'm saying? Like you got all this time, and she did try, man. Like she really did. Like she tried. She did all the things that a person would do that's holding somebody down. And then even when we divorced, before we divorced, like it wasn't nothing messy, man. It wasn't like she just stopped communicating with me or nothing like that, and just sent me divorce papers. No, she came because okay, I started my federal bid off. My first permanent institution was in Mississippi, so I stayed in Mississippi for a few years, and then I was transferred to Atlanta. So when I came to Atlanta, then then we started talking. She would come visit me like every other week, and we'd sit there and we'd talk about everything. How should we proceed? And so before we divorced, we sat in the visitation room for probably 6 months, talking about just different things. Like we still loved each other. You know what I'm saying? And then we finally just said okay. It was her choice, her decision, and so she did it in a very respectful way. And then after we divorced, she still held me down in a lot of ways. Like when I really, really needed something done, or needed some papers picked up, or called this person, I called her because I knew she was gonna do it. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
so we still maintained a good friendship too.
Okay, Ed. So I got your message saying that you got to get out of here, man. It's 11:15. Well, I appreciate you, man. I thank you for stopping through the Two Cups of Truth podcast, man. At any time, you definitely welcome back to come and drop these jewels, drop this knowledge, and whatever else you want to bless the people with.
Man, absolutely. I thank y'all for having me, man. Absolutely, and we probably got some more stuff we probably can talk about, man. I call you on private or personally or whatever, or I come back on because I'm a writer too. I'm a writer
Okay.
too. I got like screenplays and stuff that I've written, too. So we got some other stuff we probably can talk about too.
Yeah, ain't no problem. We got some other stuff we definitely gonna talk about. We definitely own it, man. But like I said, I thank you. And I just appreciate you coming and shedding light today, man. Like it was a wonderful conversation with you.
Thank you so much. I was nervous about reaching out to you, but I felt like people needed to hear um your story.
Well, I certainly appreciate it, man, and just looking at what y'all doing, keep doing it. Shit, you know what I'm saying? So I'm definitely a follower. I'm a fan. So y'all keep it going, keep it going.
Okay, man. Well, we gonna keep it going this evening. You know what I'm saying? We still got about a few more minutes for us, man. But you can tap on out, man, and I definitely get in touch with you.
Okay, y'all be blessed now.
All
Thank
right.
you. Have a good day.
Thank you. You too.
Yeah, Shay. That was elder people, man. That was the elder. And it's always good when you can have somebody of significance to come on to your show and and do and really speak true light. And you can tell when he was speaking from a true place. You know what I mean? I like that. Folks
Yeah.
don't be with the fun and don't be with the fake. And I'm glad that he was able to get on here today.
Oh yeah.
Uh, you know, but the last thing that he was saying before he jumped off was about, hey man, being in a relationship and being in a spiritual relationship. First of all, what I'm saying, being in a spiritual relationship and being in your regular relationships are two different things. So, but in your spiritual relationship, you're gonna find the power to forgive.
Mhm.
And he said you're gonna have to in your relationship, you're gonna have to forgive often.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So being able to forgive often is key. Uh, my partner Di, he said that she used the term because it's a hidden gem that's in plain view.
Hmm.
Talking about Betty Wright. Said if you learn the secret how to forget, she said he used that term because it's a hidden gem. Because the term is a hidden gem that's in plain view.
Oh yeah.
Um, anger. Anger. This word anger. Uh, this word anger can be a terrible word. That's why the good book tell you be slow to anger.
Mm.
Uh, you see, sometimes when you fast to anger, the devil get happy and he bless you with something.
Oh, absolutely.
Because you be like, see, I had to show them. I took, I had to teach them a lesson. So the devil bless you with something. You were quick to anger and the devil wants you to stay blind. And so he bless you with something that make it seem like you made the right decision. And so a lot of times we done made the wrong decision, but the devil bless us and we think we made the right decision.
Oh yeah. And then we got to pay for that.
Oh yeah.
Because we be so quick. Somebody can do something to us, and we be so quick to retaliate. And I feel like when we do that, we come in and we mess up God's plan.
Oh yeah, that
We have that
retaliation thing.
temporary fix for a minute
Hey,
by getting revenge.
yeah, but God said leave revenge on me, didn't he?
Absolutely.
Didn't he say that? Then he said leave revenge on me.
Hmm.
Yeah, he said leave revenge on me. So, um, being in a proper relationship, being in certain things, I know today Wednesday, right? Okay, so I know being right with oneself. People just talk so much stuff, man. You ain't even right with yourself. You can't even be right with the world. You can't be right with the church. You definitely can't be right with your partner because you ain't right with yourself. There's
Yeah.
so much the hardest thing to do, and I'm gonna use a rapper, Jeezy. Jesus was speaking the gospel one day. And Jesus said on the song, the hardest thing to do in life is play your role. Oh my God. The hardest thing to do in life is play your role.
Hmm.
You want to play everybody else's role. You want to tell everybody else how to play their part. Just play your role. It's certain things that that men and women are commanded to do by God. We don't have the same set of instructions. We
Yeah.
don't have the same we don't have the same set of needs, even though they coincide, but we don't have the same set of needs. So when you get to telling the pastor how to pastor, when you get to telling the deacon how to deacon, and you ain't even a member of the church at all, you don't even go to church, but you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So when you want to get to telling the man how to be a man, and you ain't never been a man, you want to get to telling the woman how to be a woman, you ain't never been a woman. Just play your role. It's the hardest part in life is to play your role.
Mhm.
So and acting, even in acting, I remember doing stage plays, and and people will be missing a cue line. They'll be missing cues because they too busy watching the other actor make sure they doing what they supposed to do instead of just playing your part. You done missed the whole cue. Now you done threw the whole show off because you were waiting on somebody else to mess up and you done messed up.
Mhm.
You feel what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
Just the harder part in life is just playing your role. I think once you get secured yourself, so we got, like last week we were talking about insecurities. I think the insecure person has the hardest time playing their part. They too busy trying to find fault in what other people got going on so they can hide their flaws. What you got to say about that? Well, do we hide our flaws by pointing out other people's flaws?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Come raw queen. What you going to sleep? What you went to bed over
No.
there with her?
No, I'm not going to sleep.
I thought you went to sleep over there on me.
Now my phone had rung and kind of knocked me out for a second.
That
Um,
was a powerful ringtone.
repeat the last part for me, boss man.
Mm. Do we hide our insecurities? Do we hide our fault? We insecure. We try to hide our faults by pointing out other people's faults.
Yeah.
We trying to hide from. We trying to make sure you don't notice that we ain't got it together. So we gonna find everything to show that you ain't got it together.
Yeah. I agree with
Uh,
that. It happens.
yeah, yeah. I don't know why people do. I don't know why people do that. I don't know why people do that all the time.
Yeah.
So look. So what? Hey man. Hey man. There go my mama. She done checked in. Hey, that's a blessing when your mama check in on you, ain't
Oh yeah.
it? Uh huh.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, cause you wanna, you know, see, and we just had Mother's Day, right?
Mm.
And we just had Mother's Day, and the older you get, the more you learn. You know, you remember the Bible say, man, you can run, but you can't hide from God, right?
Mhm.
Hey, you can run, but you can't hide from God. But I'm gonna tell you, look, hey, I'm gonna tell you, you can lie to a lot of people, but I'm gonna tell you, man, you might as well tell the truth to your mama.
Oh yeah. They can see right through you. They know
You
when
can lie
something
to,
wrong.
right? You might as well tell the truth to your mama. Cause you know what? Cause I thank God that I got a praying mama. Hey man, I'm gonna tell you, I got a praying mama. It used to be a joke, but how some jokes come real. It used to be a joke. You say it all the time as a joke, but I thank God I got a praying mama, man. Cause ain't no telling where I be.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Cause your mama gonna pray for you when you ain't praying for yourself.
That's right.
And and you got children, right, Shay?
Oh
You a
yeah. And
mama.
I've always been a praying mother, but my grandmother was a praying woman. So I would always go to my grandmother for stuff, for her to pray. I would call her, can you pray? My daughter would call her, can you pray? But when my grandmother passed, I had to really learn.
Okay, we had some technical difficulty. You check that we ain't got your voice no more. Um, but it's a prayer. Like I've been reading the Serenity Prayer a lot lately. Like this just been the prayer that I've been reading. I just been reading the serenity prayer. And it say, Lord, grant me the serenity. And the word serenity, I had to look up the word serenity to make sure I understand what serenity and the word serenity got a lot to do with peace. You got to make peace. And you say, God, grant me the serenity. You saying, God, give me the peace I need to accept the things that I cannot change. God, grant me the serenity. You got to be at peace with some stuff, man. You got to be at peace with it. You got to be at peace with the stuff you cannot change. You got to make peace with it. You can't just be wishing it was different and keep, and you know what I'm saying, and keep taking yourself down this rabbit hole, just wanting it to be different and hoping it was different, and it's not gonna change nothing, and it's not gonna change a thing. You know, you got to make peace. That's what serenity means. You make God give me the serenity. God give me the peace I need. Give
Oh
me
yeah.
the peace I need to accept the things that I cannot change. And the courage, okay, now that's another big word, and the courage to change the things that I can, the courage to change, to do, like to do something about it, to take action. You need courage to take action. You know what I'm saying? You need peace to accept, but you need courage to take action to change the things that I cannot change. You need courage. You know, courage. Where do we get courage from? What is a good source of courage? Where do we get courage from? That's what I think some people missing, like courage. They don't know where to draw this energy from, this courage. They don't know, they don't know where to draw this peace from. Where do we get peace from? We got to be able to make peace. Where do we get courage from? And
I
then
feel
it
like
goes
that.
on in the scripture and say, and the wisdom to know the difference. See, we got to know where to get peace, courage, and wisdom. Them are the three main words: peace, courage, and wisdom. So we got to find our way back to them words. Shay, what you were saying, Shay, I was going on.
No, I was just going to say, I feel like courage comes within, you know?
Right.
Sometimes we could be going through something. I know, like, sometimes I could be going through something, and I may look in the mirror and be like, girl, get it together. Shake it off.
Mm-hmm.
Shake it off. Keep it moving.
Yeah, man, you got to surround yourself around motivating factors.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, um, we get them from motivating factors. Like now, people say you need to surround yourself around other people. No, them people. Now it's some people that's out there that may be factors, but I'm gonna say motivating factors. You know, um, the spirit is your radio to life. Like, what is your spirit in tune to? Like, what station is your spirit on?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the radio to your life. You know what I'm saying? You got to put your spirit on the right station.
Yeah.
Well, you know what I'm saying? What station are you in tune to? Um, so when I say motivating factors, you know what I'm saying? How angry are you all day? How worried are you all day? How much do you laugh all day? How much are you inspired all day? Because this is the thing, see, that you see, the universe is real. See, like I believe in God heavily, so I believe in the law of attraction too. I believe what we thinking about is what's going to come about. Because it said in the Bible, if you think it, what it say in the Bible? If you think it, something happened on it.
If you think it enough, if you think it enough, it'll start happening.
Hey, if you thinking enough, it'll start happening.
If you sit
But
there and be negative all day, then you just gonna have a whole bunch of negative stuff in your life.
right. So check it out. So look, I'm looking up. We done reached our time today, man. So how you feel, Shay?
I feel good. I'm glad that we had Elder on. I feel like he dropped a lot of good jewels. He's from my hometown. So I was very excited about that. You know.
Right. I
I
see
love
you,
when we
Dennis.
have guests on here.
Oh yeah, man. Now we gonna put something together special for the people next week, man. Tune in next week. Hey, share the live. Go to the YouTube channel. Check out the series. If you hadn't checked out the web series JIT, go to my YouTube, Mr. Magic, MRMRMAJIC. Check out JIT. Um, check out Jesus in Training, man. Check out the web series. Um, it's going down.
Oh yeah.
We it's going down. I appreciate y'all checking in, and
Shout out
we
to
check.
Taylor the Vision.
Oh, that's right.
Shout
That's right.
out to Get So Pretty Hair. That's where I get my pretty hair from. Y'all go shop with her.
It gets
And
so
shout
pretty
out to
here.
James Taylor too. He's on here watching.
Yeah, James. Yeah, James. Yeah, James. James Taylor. I was thinking that was another James Taylor. I was thinking, did I play football with him or something?
James Taylor is the one I was talking to Anton about. We're gonna go to his play.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
So he's a production guy.
Mhm. Yeah.
Oh, and that's right, man. Appreciate you checking in, JT.
Yeah.
Appreciate you checking in, JT. But hey, man. Until next week,
Oh yeah.
we'll see y'all.
Have a good evening.